When it comes to costs, there has been a significant decrease across the board once again. This time, it is not just occurring in the cryptocurrency market, it is also taking place in the regular market. As far as we can tell, you believe that the standard market is going to have a decline today. Nevertheless, if you take a look at the market as a whole, you will notice that there is a fall taking place in the market as a whole, which includes the cryptocurrency market. Again, some of these levels were discussed last night if you watched, but in this update, I really want to speak about what I believe is happening right now and what the next XRP targets are. I hope you enjoy this update. As can be seen, the value of XRP has decreased by almost 6%. The market as a whole is experiencing a decline as a result of this. There is a price of $2.89 at the moment. As soon as possible, we are aware of the location of the XRP price below the critical area, the pricing point of $3. At this very moment, we are lounging below it. Furthermore, considering the current state of Bitcoin, this shouldn't come as much of a surprise all. Additionally, the value of Bitcoin has decreased by approximately 3.7% compared to the same time period last year, reaching $171.6 billion, and the 24-hour transaction volume has decreased by almost 6.5 billion. So have a look at this. A significant amount of effort has been put forth, according to Brian Armstrong, in order to list Solana and XRP as perpetual futures in the United States. In addition to Bitcoin and Ethereum, they are now available for purchase. That, of course, pertains to the stocks of Coinbase. However, despite the fact that there are a lot of positive things happening right now, the market is also the most unpredictable it has been over the entire month. Because of this, the market as a whole, you will see a decline, which is something that we will return to in a moment for further discussion. Take a look at this, please. The news regarding XRP is not going to be discussed in great detail. We are only going to discuss the recent statements that have been made. Paul Adkins was seen to have come out and stated, "I'm excited to work with my colleagues in the administration and Congress to get the job done." This was something that was visible to everyone. Also, you are experiencing a lot of positive things. It is quite evident that you are receiving communication from the head of the Securities and Exchange Commission. In addition, that was not the situation 12 to 14 months ago, isn't that correct? That was under no circumstances the case. Gary Gensler was the complete antithesis of that. To put it another way, the rate at which crypto is moving is exactly what we want it to be. Our schedule has not changed at all. For the past 8 months, there has been a lot of activity. In this world of the dark web, the majority of people have forgotten what has occurred over the course of the past 8 months. I do not want you to omit that particular point from your memory. When conditions are like this, you can observe instability in the market, also known as retracement. As the proverb goes, be greedy while others are afraid. What does this mean? Have fear while other individuals are pursuing their desires. When the carnage is going on, those individuals who have a tendency to save their dollar cost average are also the ones who have a tendency to do well in the long run. When there is a great deal of anxiety, there is also a great deal of doubt, and people have a tendency to overlook that. This is because of the question. In the interest of full disclosure, I would want to make it quite apparent that nothing on this channel constitutes financial advice. Doing your own research and exercising due diligence is always recommended if you are considering investing in cryptocurrency. For the time being, one can observe that the dominance of Bitcoin is still lower than 60%, despite the fact that the price of Bitcoin is decreasing. Earlier in the evening, I conveyed to you all the significance of it. In my Cardano update, I spent a lot of time discussing how significant it was. However, the control is still present, and it is set at 60%. That is something that I believe we will test once more. It is not that we will not test it again. I believe that we will test the 60% once more mark. In the event that Bitcoin does not remain inside these levels, and at the moment, Bitcoin is looking exactly like what I told you guys last night, a possible double bottom might occur, and it is already occurring given that we are currently trading below 115,000. As I write this update, the price of Bitcoin is below $115,000, which indicates that I believe we can retest 112s, and we are very close to doing so. I keep a close eye on that significant figure for Bitcoin, and as I write this report, the price of Bitcoin is, in order for us to get the same result, we need to make only a 1% move from where we are currently to the levels that we saw on August 2nd. Due to the fact that it is of the utmost significance, we wish to maintain that level. In the event that it is unable to maintain that level, dear gentlemen, I am sorry to say it, but 110 or even the collar of the 23.6 at 107,400 might be in play. Previously, I mentioned that if this were to occur, it would make my overall forecast for the month of September more likely to come true. Wherefore, I was under the impression that prices were already taking into consideration the likelihood of a reduction in interest rates. But I have come to the realization that if we do see this retest down to this level, I feel that the market will really go up in September, even on the day of the meeting of the Federal Open Market Committee. Additionally, that is my own individual opinion. The only thing that can truly tell is time. In my opinion, September will likely begin on a pretty positive note, which is something that I believe will occur. In addition, the Federal Open Market Committee meeting did begin on a positive note. During the day of the meeting, we did have a small amount of rejection. Nevertheless, we continued to make progress after that. That's the primary prediction I have. I told you in my previous night report exactly what your boy CryptoZX told you yesterday. Even if we are moving down right now, we are still around 6% away from retesting the lows that we touched on August 2nd. If you are looking at XRP, I told you this. Due to the fact that Bitcoin is only 1% away from retesting August levels, we need to have already retested it beforehand. For us to be able to recreate that pattern, XRP is still approximately a 6% retracement away. The reason for this is that control was far higher on August 2nd, which demonstrates how much it has deteriorated since then. It is important for you to be aware that we have now fallen below $113,000 in total. These are the realistic targets that we need to aim for in order to go above this range one more time. If we are unable to close the daily candle above it, we will not be able to achieve this goal. Even in the event that we return to $112,000, I do not believe that we will witness a double bottom. On the other hand, if we fall below that level, I believe that this is definitely going to take place right now. To add insult to injury, keep in mind that the price of XRP has hovered around 23.6 for the better part of a month. Over the course of the 23.6, we have been gaining strength. It's been over a month, and this is something that a lot of people don't pay attention to, but I'm here to tell you that we don't want to be ignoring it right now. In point of fact, we are less than $3. Although we did get that back when we saw that fake out rebound, we are pretty much at such a key neckline right now. Yes, we did get that back. If we are unable to maintain our position in this region, you should be prepared for the $2.76 to be pursued once more. Leave a comment below and let me know what you think. There are some of you who are long-term investors and you hope to see the price of XRP decline so that you could purchase it at a lower price. It is undeniable that the opportunity is there to you. Guys, but allow me to reiterate my point. You should only spend what you can afford to lose, and you should think about staying in it for a long time, not just for a day or 2 weeks. If you have done your research, you should do this. Consider the next 5 or 10 years if you are in it for the long haul. You should think about the future. So, what do you think? When prices fluctuate in such a manner, your patience is the single most important thing to pay attention to, and I will say it 1,000 times. It will ultimately take place. Even though something even more terrible could occur, you don't want to be afraid of it. If you want to ensure that you keep the gains you make this year, it goes without saying that you need to have your exit strategies on the ready. When it comes to the long-term estimate, on the other hand, you should avoid making any changes to it. You are all loved by me. Have a wonderful day. Be CryptoZX and get out of here.